Hi, my name is Lyle Railsback and I work for Kermit Lynch Wine Merchant. We are based out of Berkeley, California. Kermit is an old hippie from Berkeley and started a business 40 years ago in Berkeley, California, importing small production wines from France and Italy. And we work only with small producers who are making wines by hand, the old way, something that's kind of a dying art these days. So some of our wines that are most famous, Kermit's known for View Telegraph in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, certainly one of the top, if not the top estate in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. The Bruniers Kermit discovered back in the 70s, and we've worked with them ever since. 2009 is the vintage that we're selling in Ohio right now. It's a great vintage, really powerful wine that can age for 3 decades, if not more. And Kermit's kind of a different guy. He's always worked, marched to the beat of his own drummer. And he works really directly with growers in a way that a lot of importers don't. And most people just go to Europe and find something and say, oh, we can sell this and bring it in. And Kermit actually works with the grower. We'll put together our own cuvées. He'll buy certain barrels of things that he likes. He'll have them make a bottling that's unfined or unfiltered just for us. And when you work that way, you can often, first of all, find a better product and also get a better price on things if you're buying 1,000 cases or something from somebody. So. Yeah, Kermit's really approached wine in a different way. I think a lot of the wine business is looking at what people want and trying to deliver that. We want Cabernet in this price point. We want something that exists. And Kermit's always been more about finding something that he likes rather than what the market thinks they want. So, yeah, kind of a real visionary, and was the first in the 70s to go and find these off-the-beaten-path places. And today we're still doing that with wines from Corsica. We have wines from the Savoie. One of our newest finds is this producer who's in the Savoie. It's called Cecil. It's this tiny off-the-beaten-path place that at one point in history was more famous than the wines of Champagne. They make sparkling wines with local grapes called Molette and Altesse, and they do a couple of different sparkling cuvées. Really incredible value, incredible wines that don't taste like anything else in the world. So I think it's been stuff like that. Then Saint Joseph is a big one. Kermit was really one of the first to explore the northern Rhone and bring those wines to America. And back in the 70s, it was difficult to sell things like Côte Rôtie, things that are now very famous. But back in the 70s, it was an unknown area, so people would rather buy a California Cabernet because it was comfortable to them rather than a Côte Rôtie. And Kermit said, these wines are incredible. Why would you not want to buy this? So he's really championed these small regions. Saint Joseph is kind of one of the few remaining places in the Rhone that's a hidden gem. You can find wines here like Philippe is this grower we work with, and better than a lot of Côte Rôtie and Hermitage that's being made in France. But because it's Saint Joseph and not famous, you get a much better price and a better deal. And then another one we've got here, this is Savinier. Really still, Kermit's been preaching about this wine since the 70s, and it's great stuff. A small appellation in the Anjou, middle part of the Loire, so they're growing Chenin Blanc, and they're doing it bone dry. So these wines are really mineral, really intense, really perfect for fish, and they can age for decades as well. But something like this, most people, I think in Ohio, as we discovered this last week, hadn't heard of things like Savinier, but when you taste it for the first time, it's pretty exciting, pretty special. So it's a real pleasure to work for Kermit and to be able to bring in things like this that aren't always the go-to and not a lot of people have heard of, but we're sort of doing it out of love.